Or just, it makes you feel uncomfortable. I mean, the kind of thing that other people shy away from that we gravitate towards.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. What you like about?
Yeah. So this movie made people uncomfortable, and 12 Years a Slave was okay.
Yeah. We want to talk about the Oscars. Oscars just made the big announcements today, and like I said, everybody always feels some kind of way when the Oscars come out. So. Being that Martin, that's what we do here. That's how everything started. Martin and I started out as local critics, just trying to get by, just trying to sneak into a movie or two to talk shit. So we are going to bring him on to help out with this. See, y'all think when he goes home, like he like dresses down to his comfy clothes. He dresses like this at the house. he goes to bed like that. How you doing, Martin?
I'm okay. Sleepy. I was like, man, are they gonna call or not? Because I took a sleeping pill.
Why'd you take a sleeping pill right before we doing this? Why'd you take it? Also, I took a laxative. So it wouldn't be right to talk about the Oscar nominations without having you here, man. Wait, are you pulling the Keith David, man? So, Mark, what do you think about the Oscar nominations?
Yeah.
It was work.
Right.
Okay, you fool? Boy, he's smacking too. Look at it. Everyone get them Oscar hemorrhoids, man. Those Academy Award nominations are a pain in people's ass. People are.
I know.
Yeah. People butt hurt, ass hurt. People are crying. They act like they got personal stakes, like they winning some shit.
People who have no skin in the game are the ones who are most upset.
Yeah. People act like they getting an award. They ain't getting shit. They ain't even getting a check. People ain't even betting on this shit. People have parties where they just play. People ain't even got no monetary wagers on this. But for some reason, we're all emotionally invested in the Oscars. And this year, it's interesting because while the same thing is happening, this is the year. Thank you for the subscription there, Lando Stevenson. This is the year, Mark. This is the year that the Oscars said, you know what, bitch, you don't know me. You really thought that you knew what was happening. You thought this year, just in case you did put bets on shit, you thought you had a sure winner. And that is not the case. This year, there are a lot of surprises, both pleasant and unpleasant. And there are people out there who are even disappointed, but they got real petty with it. They say, you know what? If I gotta be upset, if the shit I want can't happen, I'm glad none of y'all get what y'all want out there. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying, Martin, right?
I wasn't that surprised.
I was. Martin, I was very surprised. Now, there are a few things, I will tell you. No, I'm not going to even act like I knew what was happening, man. There is about 3 or 4 things that I am actually shocked about. Let's start out with, because what we're going to have for you right now, we're going to have for you the disappointments, we're going to have the surprises, and we're also going to have some of the things that we're actually pleased about that we thought never would have happened. But let's start out with some of the disappointments. Let's start out with that first. So I'm gonna ask you, Martin. So you thought that you were surprised by nothing. Without going into detail, you were surprised by nothing.
I mean, it was all within the realm of possibility. Nothing popped up where, matter of fact, out of all the years, this is the one year where nothing popped up where I went, what? How dare you? Everything was like, yeah, okay. Everything was either hovering around my top 10 or on somebody else's top 10 that I heard about. I was already getting praise. So,
okay.
No, I didn't feel like there was a lot of surprises there.
Okay. Well, you're a better man than I am because we're going to start with some disappointments. I was surprised and disappointed to wake up today and find out that out of all the hype about this movie, it got nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. It's the dumbest bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. Gary.
Turns out it was actually a dumb bet. if you bet on this movie here, man, I think I woke up to the sound of Adam Sandler putting on his computer and saying, "What?" You know this.
Yep.
This right here was considered to be. I mean, can you imagine being Adam Sandler today, waking up to this after being hyped by everyone, saying that you are definitely a shoo-in for Best Actor nominee? They said that after people telling you that the Oscars would have to be crazy not to nominate you. And the Oscars said, well, guess I'm crazy. In fact, I'm insane. You know, they did not give this shit. They didn't even give this like a screenplay. That is a given. Everyone was so certain that this was going to be, if nothing else, because not everybody liked this movie, but if nothing else, Adam Sandler was going to get Best Actor nomination. So that didn't surprise you, Martin?
No. And here's why. Now, it did disappoint me because I love this movie so much. But it didn't surprise me because what you're talking about, where everybody said, oh, this is Adam Sandler, you're going to get this is what's going to happen. The failure is in the intelligence of those people, because it's not like Adam Sandler didn't get nominated, but something, what Kevin Hart did. A lot of strong nominees. The competition was stiff this year.
Yeah, it was. No, it was. The competition was stiff this year, but I thought that he was a forerunner, man. Even people saw the movie like, yeah, you know what? I didn't like the movie, man. I don't know what everybody's talking about, but damn, Adam Sandler, he surprised me, man. Adam Sandler was actually really good here.
I got a question.
What's up,
Corey? Since you feel adamant about that, who would you have taken out and put in place of Adam Sandler?
That is a good question, man. And let me look at can you pull up the nominee? Do you have the nominees?
I already got them.
Who are the nominees?
You got for Best Leading Actor, Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker. You got Adam Driver for Marriage Story.
Yeah.
You got Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time. Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes.
Okay, I can't speak for The Two Popes, or I can't speak for Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory. Was he great in that? Okay, so sound like to you could have pulled Antonio Banderas out, but I if I had, from what I know right there, I probably would have pulled out Leonardo. I would have pulled out Leonardo DiCaprio probably.
Okay,
what do you say?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think the two of them are about on par with each other. It's too close to call that. And Jonathan Pryce in the Two Popes is fantastic.
That's what I hear. I heard that he's great. Did you see Pain and Glory?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going by what I like. I thought that if I have to go into it, it's not that I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think that he was bad in the movie. In fact, I would talk. I don't have a problem with Brad Pitt being nominated, but if I had to make a choice between these people,
We get into a fight, I accidentally kill, I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
I'll tell you what was cool about the movie. I think Brad Pitt carried his scenes very well. Yep. I think that Leonardo DiCaprio carried his scenes very well. But when they were really shining in that movie, it was them together, because this is a movie about them being. This is a movie about friendship. This is a movie about these guys and the relationship they have. I think they kind of carried the movie on their own. I mean, they carried the movie together than on their own. I think Adam Sandler was somebody who. That movie hinged on him, and plus, it's more of a real performance. Leonardo DiCaprio was kind of playing a caricature. Adam Sandler was playing like a guy that you kind of related with, even if you don't have a drug addiction or a gambling addiction or any kind of addiction at all. This guy carried the movie, and that's why I thought that he was better, man. It's not even because I'm biased against Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just thought he was a better solo actor.
They loved, more than they hate Adam Sandler, they love Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, and
exactly. He's a critic. He's their darling, and a thing they're really biased towards is movies about making movies.
Yep. Hollywood.
And that's what I'm talking about. You're talking about which one's the better movie. Well, I think they picked, you talking about everybody has a bias. I'd rather have a bias over like an actual performance than have a bias over, well, we already had these nominees picked before we even saw the movie. Because that's what, that's what's going on. With Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's a critical darling. And it's also an Oscar darling because of the name of the person who made it. Nothing against, I think it's a good movie. Like, I didn't love all of it, but I think there's some great parts in here. But they would, man, this is something that was going to be nominated no matter what. They didn't nominate this out of like the purity of the performance of the product. It's a bias going on towards that. And I think that's what it is. Just like it's a bias against some of these people. You know, the thing with that goes on with the Academy, that if you look at a pattern, they, for some reason, they don't even like, maybe they don't like comedians from Saturday Night Live. There's been so many comedians and actors from Saturday Night Live to go off and do things, and they have not, and do great things that people say that should get a nomination, and they don't nominate them. Bill Murray from Lost in Translation. Everybody talked about how he should get a nomination. He didn't get it. Now, this guy shot himself in the foot. But Eddie Murphy with Dreamgirls, I know he created a saying. You norbited yourself. He created a term, so I understand why he didn't get it. But really, I don't know if there's a bias against people who come from Saturday Night Live. They're not taken seriously. All I know is that this is sad. Adam Sandler, he really did put his all into this, man. He put his all into this, and it showed. It's back to the bullshit now. He says, you know what? So, hey, y'all saw it. I tried. I gave all the critics what they wanted, and they told me to f*** off. So you know what? It's back to my vacations. It's back to getting that money. It's a hard movie for people to like. It's a hard movie because it has so many, not one unlikable character. It has unlikable characters. If the pressure of this is unbearable because it's too real in this this seedy underworld that he's dealing in, and I think it just put a lot of people off because of that.
Well, just it makes you feel uncomfortable. I mean, the kind of thing that other people shy away from that we gravitate towards.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. What you let your laugh about?
Yeah. So this movie made people uncomfortable, and 12 Years a Slave was okay.
Well, hey, man, you know Hollywood love them slaves, man. Speaking of disappointments out there, this is okay. I'm not gonna say I am. This is one I'm not surprised by, but this is one I am definitely highly disappointed in as far as the best supporting actor category goes. That's them when they find out the news this morning. They get nominated. You mean when they get nominated? This is The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse. Now that is a movie that is so weird. I'm not surprised by the lack of nominations, but I will say, I was rooting for Willem Dafoe in this film to get nominated. He gave an incredible performance in this movie, man. Yep. And this is somebody that I confidently would say I would definitely move somebody out of the best supporting category for him. How you feel about this, Martin?
He was my number one pick for best supporting. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's one where it's like, oh man, okay, that one hurts. But as you mentioned, it is a weird movie. And it's black and white. And you could see anybody who's not a true cinephile is going to get 6 minutes into this and go, what the hell is this? And turn it off. Yep.
That is true. It's very true, man. It was on my top 10 list, man. I can already see I can see myself in the room with you putting this on. You're like, what the is this?
It looked like somebody was trying to mimic the artist, trying to go black and white and artsy. They thought they were trying to go that route.
Well, it is very artsy. Mm-hmm. I have nothing against. I kind of do. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Again, to repeat myself, just very quickly. This is the one where it was just going to get nominated no matter what. I mean, he just had to make a piece of shit movie for this not to get nominated. And it did. And it's getting nominated in all these categories. Now, I had no problem with Brad Pitt getting a nomination. But if it came down to it, I would yank his ass right out of there and I would replace him. And I think it's easy, man. Whether you think this movie is too artsy for you or not, he gave the better performance.
Yes, he did.
And
he certainly did.
Yeah, how would you feel about to ask you the question that Oz asked me? Would you replace him with anybody?
Should I name the nominations?
Name the nominations. Who we have
for best supporting actor? Obviously, you got Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time. You got Al Pacino for The Irishman. You got Joe Pesci for The Irishman. Got Tom Hanks for Once Upon a Time in the Neighborhood,
Once Upon a Time. God damn it.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in the Neighborhood. Man. Quentin Tarantino's Mr. Rogers.
That would be amazing. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and then you got Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes.
I would easy decision. I would move Brad Pitt out after hearing all those. Martin, what do you think?
I'd probably take out Joe Pesci.
Yes, I agree. Joe Pesci.
Why? Okay, why do you say?
Because in all honesty, Brad Pitt is the best part. If I'm gonna take those two actors and I'm gonna judge them, Leo or Brad Pitt is the better actor in that movie. So I think he deserves it. If you're gonna give an award to that movie, just give it to him.
You know what? You do have a point, and I should have thought of that. You have an excellent point. When you think about it, Joe Pesci hardly did anything.
Yep.
In that movie,
I'm not going to blow off Joe Pesci because it was a subtle, more nuanced performance. Certainly not something we ever expect from him. But the other performances really stood out and stuck with you. And I'm not a big fan of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but Brad Pitt, he really was the heart of that film.
Yep.
In fact, all of the moments for me was when he was on camera. Now, definitely when it was him and Leo together, those were the best moments. But even Brad Pitt, other than the ending, all the even the scenes with him by himself, you were just instantly endeared to him.
You know what? I recant my decision. I would leave Brad Pitt in and take out
Joe Pesci.
I would take out Joe Pesci. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because like I said, he's one note in the movie. He's hardly in the movie. He ain't doing shit in the movie, really.
Right.
He's being Joe Pesci.
He's being Joe Pesci. Yeah, in fact, like he didn't want to be there.
He came out of retirement for this movie as a favor.
Yeah, I'll replace him with this actor right here.
Do everything possible to keep them from taking it.
Shit, I give him one for that table slam right there. He scared the of Michael B. Jordan.
I forgot about this movie.
Michael B. Jordan wasn't even acting. Did you see that shit? Look at this. Shit. Yeah, man. I would even give Jamie Foxx over Joe Pesci.
Yes.
Yeah. How would you feel about that?
I don't know about that.
I would. I stand firm. Now that one I do stand firm on. Martin, how do you feel about the whole thing? Moving on. How do you feel about the whole thing with the controversy of the lack of female representation?
I've been back and forth about that because that's something we want to see happen. I think the problem is that the problem isn't because this keeps happening where it's like, man, Oscar's so white, Oscar's so male, Oscar's so this, and you're putting the blame on the end product when really the fault lies in the Hollywood system itself. That's the ops there from being more candidates of color or female of different genders. So that's the real problem. By the time it gets to the Oscars, if you could fix the Oscars, but that still doesn't fix the real problem.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I certainly loved Booksmart, and even though I was in love with it, I recognize that Little Women is a good movie. So there's that part that's like, hey, what about them? But then I also go like, yeah, but neither one was in my top 10, so. What would I sacrifice for that? I don't know.
Well, you know what? I agree with you that there's a problem with the Hollywood system, but I'm back and forth on this too, because while they feel like, because the big argument is like, well, you didn't nominate Greta Gerwig for Best Director, so that the problem is like, okay, so we have a lack of female directors. That area was very competitive, man. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of, and I don't disagree with any of those movies that were in there. I know a lot of times that and they'll talk about like how some of these female actresses were snubbed. Awkwafina, who is in a movie I love, The Farewell, who was not nominated for Best Actress, is considered as a big snub.
You can't hide your emotions. If you go, then we'll find out right away.
咋不说话呢?
For Awkwafina, who's known as talking like a fake black woman, which bugs the shit out of me, she gave a real nuanced and subtle performance that I thought was excellent. But I cannot come in and say that I disagree with any of those nominees that they have right now.
Man, exactly. See, that's why when I hear people talking about snubs, I'm like, I don't believe in the snub shit, because if I gave you 10 10 different candidates, and you could only pick 5, and you picked this 5, and you didn't pick anybody in from that 5, that's not a snub. It's just that you preferred these. A snub is going like, yeah, I see what you did. Fuck that. I don't care about you. That's a snub. Yeah. This is more of a, man, I'm not saying what you did was bad. I just like these other things better.
Awkwafina's getting the real black experience now, being snubbed by the Oscars. It's a competitive category, and Awkwafina just happened to be in a competitive category in a bunch of movies that were more high profile.
Do you want me to go over the nominations?
Yeah, you can say who they are.
Okay, for best actress, you got Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, watch how you say that.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
You got Charlize. You got Charlize Theron in Bombshell.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story. You got Saoirse Ronan in Little Woman. And you got Cynthia in Harriet.
I should have you read everything. You just create new people, new movies. But
I was reading the bootleg versions of them.
Like, I know none of those actors you're talking about. The saddest thing about Awkwafina, if you want to know the truth, let's just get right down to it, man. She's Asian. She probably gonna get too many other chances, you know. Yeah, maybe down the line she might. Who knows? Who knows how diversity might change in Hollywood? But Asian don't get too many chances today. So there's I don't know. I mean, as far as getting nominated.
But would you replace somebody in the nomination for her?
No, really? I would not. No, I would look at something like Little Women, and I think all those performances in that movie were great. I mean, maybe I thought they were all good. I could say, well, maybe one was better than the other, but like Frances Pugh was nominated as best actress in this film.
I want to be an artist in Rome and be the best painter in the world. But it sounds so crass when she says,
all of them will get another opportunity probably before Awkwafina will. But, that's what I'm saying. People upset that Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated. I like this movie. It's not on my top 10, but I can see why it's nominated. I don't disagree with that. I think it's a great film. I mean, maybe this is maybe this doesn't do anybody good who felt like they didn't get the nomination they deserved. But shit, Scarlett Johansson got nominated twice this year.
Yes.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. I mean, that's representation for your ass. She got nominated for Marriage Story, which I think is a great film. Don't disagree with the nominations they had for that. And also, I knew this was going to happen, she also got it for Jojo Rabbit, which I thought she was amazing in too. She's Best Actress for Jojo Rabbit and Best Supporting for Marriage Story. And
it's backwards.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, I got it backwards. You got it. Oh, but I mean, I don't know, man. What's that?
I'm about to say, imagine if she wins both of them. If she wins both those, it's going to be crazy. This almost guarantees her playing Malcolm X in the next movie.
Oh yeah. She might beat. She might beat Awkwafina for the Farewell Part 2. I don't think it's a very much lack of representation that's going on, except for one area. And again, I can understand it just being competitive. I can see an argument being made for. I know you didn't like this movie too much, Martin, but I can see an argument being made for Jennifer Lopez in Hustlers. I can see other people's arguments why their place or their favorite got nominated, but I thought she did great in there, man. I thought it was a great performance.
Amazing performance.
Yeah, you see it?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
I know you weren't crazy about it, Martin, so you probably didn't care whether she got nominated or not.
I didn't, but that's another one where I read people were saying she got snubbed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell you what, here's one that surprised me. You want to talk about well, before I even get to that, I know you like this movie. What'd you think about a lot of people are saying Lupita Nyong'o should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I liked the movie, didn't think it was great. I thought it was some good performances. I don't know about her being nominated for Best Supporting Actress though.
Well, when I filled out my ballot for the Austin Film Critics Association, I had her as a nominee for Best Supporting.
And this gets us into like Oz and Aaron, you were talking about. We have the Shut These Negroes Up nomination going on here. And of course, that went to a slave movie. Harriet. Cynthia Erivo, Best Supporting Actress in that.
And Revo.
Erivo, yeah. This is, to me, and I don't want anybody to get upset because I don't want anybody to think like, oh, you a sellout, you goddamn Uncle Tom. No, when I say this, I don't know what to tell you, but this is not a great movie. This is seriously. Harriet Tubman is a superhero in this. She got powers.
That movie's bad. She was the best thing in the movie.
Yeah,
she's the titular character, and she does carry it. So I was like, all right, I won't bitch too much about this.
Surprise to me is that, I mean, even with this being a slave movie, it's a movie that came and went.
Yeah, that happens when you're not really having black people getting beat too much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. if they uprising and overcoming stuff, they don't like that. If you're getting beat, yeah, you're gonna get nominated.
Now, Martin, I know this might not make sense to you, but we're gonna get into some pettiness right now. This is me going in and just kind of being happy for the misfortune of some other movies. Happy that some things can get nominated, rubbing their nose in it while we're at it. And Martin, I would not be surprised if you're with me on this. My petty pleasure for the nominations this year, let me see if I can move over to it, was this movie right here. And I'm sure, Martin, you're going to be in with me on this.
Oh, you know what?
Yes, it was a magical place, but something went wrong.
That was epic.
Nah, not really. What's that, Martin?
When you first brought up being petty, I was like, oh man, I don't do that. I'm not into that. I forgot about this. When I saw get nominated, I cackled like Patrick Gertz.
Yeah. I love it. This is one where I applaud the Oscars, man. This is one where I look at the Oscars and I said, wow. Even with this movie right, Frozen 2, with this movie right here, even Oscar had to stand up to that mouse and say, sir,
right.
Do with me what you will, but this is bullshit. I love it because not only did they look up at that mouse and they just said, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Kill my wife, kill my kids, kill me. I still, in the place of Frozen 2, fuck it, I'm not going to do it because I'm nominating this movie right here.
Mr. Klaus, you have a gift.
Klaus, man, this movie, now this is the one, okay. Mark, you talking about how you weren't surprised. You had to have been surprised by Klaus getting a nomination.
No.
You weren't. Why?
I was not. It was sent to me just a couple days before it came on Netflix. Been enough chatter about it. And this is one of the years where the nominees in so many categories are so strong. Animation, not so much.
Yeah, but a lot of people this even register with a lot of people. That's why first of all, this nigga lying. He lied.
Okay, let's be clear. I did not expect a Klaus. I want a Klaus to be nominated.
No, and it's funny because you get the always the one that you want that deserves it. Yeah. Hardly is in there. I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is the reason why. No offense to Martin or anybody out there who thought, but I think everybody lied when they said that they thought this was gonna be nominated. I did an interview with the director. This is a plug for me too. Go watch the interview on YouTube. I also watch it on Double Toasted. But Sergio Pablos, I watched I talked to him about the movie Klaus, and even he was just kind of like, well, I'm just happy for what we got to be on Netflix. I'm not expecting too much more. They didn't even expect this movie to be nominated.
Yeah, nobody.
You could watch them. There's a video where they're sitting back and they're watching all the other nominated categories, and they're watching and especially watching the category for animation, best animated feature. And they sat up there and they were about to walk out the room. Oh shit! You see, I love that one chick, man. You look at her, she just kind of like, man, all them. This is bullshit. Yeah, man. You know, this is one where I took double pleasure. One movie that I thought, look, if kids like it, that's fine, but that's a studio movie. Klaus really deserved it. I was so happy. I was elated to see Klaus get nominated, man. Disney is sitting back and looking at this, and they're saying, you know what? Enjoy yourself.
Yep.
Woody, get him. You know, it's the Toy Story 4.
That's the bullshit. They still got Toy Story 4.
They still got Toy Story 4, man. I ain't pulling no clips for it, but they got Toy Story 4 out there.
I hate that.
They like, you still losing to us. Toy Story 4 is going to get it, man.
Possibly. Okay, here's the one thing I worry about. Because looking at other critics' lists, some were leaving it off, and when they sent us disc this year, they didn't send that one, which is odd. But also, like in the Austin Critics Association, their pick for best animated was Missing Link, and it kept showing up in places.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, Missing Link ain't gonna get that. That people even talking about Missing Link. What was that? That was that stop motion Bigfoot movie. I love the art of stop motion, and a lot of people like, okay, what was that? This movie right here. I think it says something that this movie got nominated over Frozen 2.
Oh no, yeah,
you know, but do you think it's gonna? You think this has a chance of winning, Martin?
Okay, I don't think it's anywhere near being the best, because I can think of besides Toy Story and Klaus, there's the French movie I Lost My Body, which is really good also.
Yeah.
But what I've seen happen, like with The Shape of Water, where there's a movie that it's not the best, but everybody kind of likes it. So it somehow, it rises above the fray because it got a vote from everyone, even though it didn't, it wasn't anybody's top or very few, some people's top and some people's not. And somehow it makes it through. So yeah, I always feel nervous, like, that could happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think if I have to be honest here, I think, and people are like, no, Corey, be full of shit and lie. No, I think that, while I'm sitting up here taking pleasure and Frozen 2 not getting nominated, because I do think that is I don't think it's an Oscar-worthy film. I think the other reason is that the Academy knows. They say, you know what, they're not going to shed any tears because Toy Story is going to get it.
Friend in class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend.
This movie moved me, man, to no ends, and I would not be surprised if they saw this. Well, this is obviously the better film. Is Disney's going to, they're going to be satisfied to have this. Not going to be hurt by Frozen 2. So this is the one that's going to take it, I think. One of the pleasant surprises for me is that everybody was going up against Netflix, man. No, all the odds were against them. We don't want them in the theaters. Spielberg and other directors were saying they don't count. That's a new streaming service. That we don't like the disruption. People should not watch movies at home. It encourages that. And they had a strong year, man. This is the two popes. You saw this, Martin, right?
Yeah, I saw it quite a while ago. Man, it's like Frost Nixon.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
And, just that, because it's really about a conversation between these two guys, Pope Benedict and Pope Francis, who don't really like each other.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on, but the dialogue, it just weaves you into it, and you feel so strongly about one of the two of them until sort of like you go like, oh wait, you totally flipped the script on me here. Jesus. But it's almost like a chess game back and forth.
Regardless of what you think about these movies, man, they're all quality films, and Netflix has been bringing these movies. And I gotta tell you, man, they've been bringing movies that people don't want to take a chance with. Klaus being one of them. The Irishman is one. I mean, you turn down Martin Scorsese, you got to go to Netflix. That says something,
It is.
When you talk about not wanting to take a chance, that headline came out today that AMC and Regal said they will not be showing the Netflix movies in their theaters.
Really?
What?
See, yeah. And you know what? And Netflix is not going to care. Because you know what Netflix is doing? Netflix is saying, oh, y'all, we're building our own theater. And everybody wants to knock on Dogpile and kill Netflix, and they're doing amazing. I was surprised to see. I was not in a bad way. I was surprised to see Ford versus Ferrari out there. I enjoyed this movie. Some people are actually coming out now and talking about how this film didn't. They say, look, it's good. It's got a high rating with critics out there. It's got like a big rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But I don't know if I really think that this movie should have been nominated. How you feel about that, Martin?
I mean, it's in my top 20, and it's it has what you want for that kind of film. I mean, it knew how to be something that was going to make money, but it wasn't going to be complete fluff.
Yeah,
it still, be feel good. Have recognizable actors, who come in and sell it.
It wasn't in my top 10, but I have no problem with it being nominated. Let's get into the movie that is probably the most divisive movie of this year, not only for just its mere existence, but also for the Oscar nominations, leading with 11 nominations, leading everything else, is this film right here. That's what the Joker did to all his critics out there. All y'all. This is leading with 11 nominations, and some people today, they got up and like, fuck is going on with this? Is the Joker on the committee? Did he vote for his own movie?
Dangerous movie of the year.
Yeah, the most dangerous movie of the year. This is the most divisive nomination that got people. It almost got people tearing up the streets like they did near the end of the movie, man. People upset about this. People think that, and here's what people are thinking. People are thinking that the Academy Awards, the Oscar board, they think like with this film, they're actually, because you have people who think two things here. You got people who think that the Academy is straight up trolling and people. And then you got other people who feel vindication. People who've been defending this movie all year around. People been told like, that piece of shit? Nah, man, that movie's... I read an article today. It wasn't even like they weren't even trying to be smart. It was an article in, I won't say. If you read it, you'll know it. But it wasn't even trying to be smart. It was an article where somebody just got mad. And they came out and they just were yelling, stop nominating this stupid movie. It's dumb. It was like they're on the floor. Like, stop it. It's stupid. I hate it. Why do you like this movie? It was like, it was a rant. And people are mad about this shit. As a fan, I'll just sit back and enjoy my vindication.
Delicious.
It's delicious. Nah, you know what? I'm not rubbing this in anybody's faces, but what I like about this, I think what's special, whether you like the movie or not, I think it's admirable that the Academy Awards came in and said, you know what? Despite all the controversy, despite the backlash, despite it being a comic book movie, which I know as artists over here and intellectuals and cinephiles, we're not supposed to be doing that kind of thing, but I still like it.
Yep.
I don't know what to tell you. This was like the biggest fuck you from the Academy. You know what? And I don't think that they can resist the urge to go in and make history by giving another best performance Oscar to another Joker performance. Heath Ledger got it last time around.
Best supporting.
He got it for best supporting. Yep. But this right here, I think the Joaquin Phoenix is going to get it for. I think he has a big shot at winning. I think that's the choice to win. I think he's going to win it, and I think everybody's going to look at this like well, shit. Everybody needs to play the Joker now. Well, yeah. Somewhere Jared Leto's on there. Shit, you bitches. But Martin, I know with you thinking that this movie was overrated, how did you feel about the nomination? Now, I know you weren't surprised about this, but how did you feel about the nomination?
Well, it's one of those where I'm like, all right, I didn't really like the movie, but I don't think it's a piece of shit. Like it getting nominated. I get it. I understand, and especially with Joaquin Phoenix, he's certainly a big draw. I mean, it seems like that award for Best Actor is his. All he has to do is just show up and pick it up. I don't even know why they're gonna make him sit through the suspense of it. It's already a guarantee. The funny thing to me is that between the Joker and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Irishman leading with all these nominations, it seems like it's a win for Scorsese no matter what happens.
I think that it's a toss-up between, because of Hollywood being who they are, I'll give you reasons. I think it'd be between The Irishman and this film. 1917, man.
I hoped today might be a good day.
And I tell you why 1917. For one thing, 1917 did well at the Golden Globes. And I think that's probably an indicator where it's probably going to go for the Oscars. Also, I think with this being a sprawling epic war movie, I think Hollywood likes that. I think they like epic films of this type. There's one thing that they like sometimes better than movies about movies. It's like when you do some really, really amazing film work. When you do some amazing movie, some movie making. So I think, I think there's a chance that this could be it. I mean, it won Best Drama at the Golden Globes. And I think, go ahead.
A lot of times they like to go like, well, that's the Golden Globes. We like to go a different way.
Yep.
I mean, they'll do it out of spite. They'll vote for something other than the Golden Globes did.
If there's a chance that could win, then that's cool too. A lot of people are really hoping for. I'm looking at the chat, and there's a lot of love for Parasite, man.
Oh, yes, it is so far my favorite movie of the year.
A lot of lists. It's a lot of lists.
I think if there's a chance that Parasite could get it, Parasite. I mean, it's not even the same movie, but it just has the same vibe as It'll be the first
international
movie to be nominated. Well, it's the first South Korean film to be nominated for Best Picture, and if it wins, that'll be historic. But I think it'll be something like the what is it, The Shape of Water, where people just did not see that coming,
and that's why it
won. So.
Could be. I mean, the AFCA voted it as the #1 movie. Everybody who sees it, you got so many people who have a prejudice against having to read subtitles. Just like with Roma, they know, like, well, if nothing else, we can always put it in the best foreign language film. So you'll be good. You got that one. You're all right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Well, interesting things you got to say there, Martin. What about you, man? What would be your pick for Best Picture?
Because I haven't seen 1917. I'm waiting on that to see it to make my opinion on that. It has to be between Parasite and the Joker. Mm-hmm. I really think the Joker has a big possibility to win thanks to Joaquin Phoenix's performance, and overall I think it's really good filmmaking. But Parasite elevates everything that I love from the Joker and just hypes it up to 11. Like that so far is the movie that has stuck with me all year round.
Yeah, we'll see, man. If I will tell you this: if you guys have not seen Parasite, definitely go out of your way to check it out, man. Parasite. I might have time to put up a clip right here. It's a South Korean film. It would be historic if it actually wins. But if you get a chance, you should definitely see the movie, man.
If Parasite wins or Joker wins, it's still going to be historic because it's going to be the first comic book movie to be nominated and win, and the same with Parasite, but like foreigns.
Man, as much as I want Joker to win, because I love the movie, I just don't see it.
It won't win. Like that's my conscience is telling me that because there's too many other stuff that Hollywood loves besides that. So
yeah, that'll be the one that you got the best. We did our thing. We pushed the envelope a little bit. We're more lenient on genre movies now.
Yep.
So we did our part by giving it the best acting award. So I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, but. I would be happy. I would be very pleased if this movie wins right here.
Yep.
People out there like, no, I wouldn't because I ain't reading no shit. Let me know when the English version comes out. Hey, you know what? Share some of your thoughts on this. What are you disappointed in? What are you happy about? What are your predictions for some of the things that you might expect to win? Love to hear from you. All right, Martin. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you betcha. You guys have a good night.
See you.
Good night, Martin. Always good seeing you, brother.
Take care.
You too, Oz.
All right. Take care.
Betty, bye. Yeah, I'm trouble cutting that shit off. Look at him.